Goblins, I'm Scully the Goblin, and welcome back to Cyberpunk. So, this video is Cyberpunk 2077, and this video is a little bit of a speculation DLC talk. Now, I said at the end of my first Let's Play of Cyberpunk 2077 I'll make a Let's Talk video, watch videos on like other people's playthroughs, and then do the DLCs myself. So, trying to get a vehicle real quick.
Mercy!
Just gonna turn this shit off.
What?
And where? There it is. Alright, goblins. So, where to begin? So, this DLC talk video is going to be about DLC that would basically extend the story to Cyberpunk. Now, you might be wondering, Scully, what do you have in mind this time? If you're new to the channel, then I gotta warn you, I stutter a lot, I fuck up my words once in a while, that sort of shit. But if you aren't, then you know what you're in for. However, this one I thought out a bit. So my first idea for, well, expanded DLC involves the Nomad ending to the game. Basically, you join the Nomads, you end up leaving, and basically, I believe the DLC, if you end up leaving Night City, it would take place somewhere else. Now, well, it's been a long time since I played the pen and paper game with some buddies of mine, so I don't remember all the lore in that, but, what can you do? But I imagine in the DLC would basically expand on V trying to find a cure to his condition. And same with some of the other scenarios. Like, I think the scenario for, like, basically I think the ending of, like, the game would affect the DLC. The first, like, I believe there would be one DLC, but depending on the ending, it would be, like, different stories in different areas. Like, let's say you left Night City, you became a nomad, that sort of shit. And you basically be out in, like, Badland territory, or even, like, a nomad nation or that, trying to find a cure for, like, your condition. And if you have not beaten Cyberpunk 2077, I suggest you go do that and then come back to this video. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Basically, once you beat the game, you learn that the biochip that you get that has Johnny Silverhand's consciousness in it basically fucked up your brain in that. It turned your brain and your body into Johnny's body, basically. It was no longer V's. Now, I believe the game would, like, if you did that ending, I believe the DLC would make it so you're basically learning, like, how to, like, fix your condition. You're trying to, like, find ways to slow it down, trying to basically live your life. Well, your new life as a nomad, or old life if you played as the nomad, like, life path. Now, for the second DLC, I imagine in the second DLC would involve Johnny Silverhand if you decided to let him take the body of V. Now, this DLC involves Johnny leaving, and you see him on a bus, basically leaving town. He gives this kid a guitar. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Johnny is basically trying to find his own path in this new world, like this new Cyberpunk world. Well, he's trying to basically, I guess, trying to become somebody new. Somebody better than himself. I believe Johnny's time with V basically changed him. If he played as, like, if you played as my type of V, where you tried not to kill everybody in sight and that, you basically made him a better person, I guess. Or if you played as a dick, you basically made him almost a dick. But, anyways, I believe the game would basically be about Johnny, like, trying to better himself and that. However, I believe he would actually find a way in that DLC. this is a separate like DLC for Johnny Silverhand, and I imagine he would find out about. Let's say he found a way to actually bring V back, but it wouldn't be in V's old body, the body now Johnny has. Let's say he found a way to bring V back as like an AI, and he's trying to find a way to get him back into his body, but figures out that he's unable to do that. He can't reverse the changes or that, so he's forced to try to find V a new body. Now I imagine there would be like loads of scenarios where basically he's trying to find like V a new body. He has to go down like some dark paths, to try to come back out of them with his soul intact, that sort of thing. But that's pretty much it for that idea. Another idea is, well, this might be a long shot, but I think the other idea is basically V in that little space like mission when he becomes like a living legend. And I believe in that DLC it would just be V trying to get his name like out there, make it so everybody knows his name before he finally kicks the bucket. What's this? Can't go that way. Alright. What else? Oh yeah. Now I think another DLC would be to basically forget about V and basically be a new character. Now you might be wondering, Scully, why do you want to ditch V, the character we already played as? Well, I'm not saying ditch him, I'm saying basically make a V 2.0. Like, it doesn't have to be V, it could be like somebody new. Somebody who heard about V, and came to Night City, wanted to be just like them. And basically it's their story. I imagine you'd be able to pick like what life path they went down, what was their affiliation, and hell, I imagine you can actually make them a full-blown like chrome person, make it so they have chrome skin, and make it so they have like full cybernetic arms and even legs. Now I imagine the way that DLC would go down is basically three different ways. One, if he's like a living legend, the person who you're now playing as basically wants to become like V and basically learn from them. Now the other one is where V's like a nomad. I imagine basically the person would, how do I put this? I imagine like the DLCs would affect like the new character's like backstory. Like let's say you become like a nomad like you're a street kid and then you end up becoming a nomad. Let's say that the new character is a nomad in that little instance. Or if they're a living legend, they are a street kid. Or a corpo. Now, if Johnny's in control of the body, I imagine they would either be a street kid or even like a corpo or a nomad. But I imagine, and there would be like loads of DLCs for the game later on. And I just hope the story DLC is really good. Now, me personally, I like Cyberpunk 2077. There's some bugs in that I don't like, but what can you do? But in all seriousness, Goblins, and I do hope to see like, how do I put this? I do hope to see like DLCs that make it so the game has like more story to the lore of like 2077. I hope to see like them expand on V's story, either through V's eyes or Johnny's eyes, or hell, even through somebody else who's new. But that's pretty much it for that little idea. Another idea is basically, and this is a long shot, the end of like the path when Johnny's entering the bus, he gives a guitar to this kid. I don't remember the guy's name. He gives the guitar to this kid. Now this is a long shot DLC, but if you remember the DLC I was talking about earlier, basically where you're playing as like somebody new, somebody who heard about V or heard about V getting his brain taken over by Johnny, or even joined a nomad like nation or clan or that. And I imagine basically, if they were to make a DLC in that, they could actually make it so you play as that kid. If they decided to go down the road and make it so the Johnny Silverhand ending was actually canon. Like, if that's what actually happened. Me, I kind of hope the Nomad path happened. To me, that's the best ending of the game. But, what else was I gonna say? Another DLC idea they could go down is to make it so it's like I guess a DLC where it's basically like during the beginning of the Street Kid story of V talks about basically going somewhere and then coming back. I don't remember where he said he was going or where he went. I mean, let's say that this DLC would be specific to like one life path. Basically, it'd have V playing out like his own like story out at that place where he went to. I don't remember the name. What was it? Who knows? But I imagine if they were to do like a prequel story, like to V's like I guess rise in the corporal ranks. Fuck that word up. Or maybe his like street cred on the streets as a street kid, or hell, they could even do a DLC where he basically like leaves his like clan behind in that. Why he didn't want to actually like stay with his clan if he was a nomad. Basically, I hope to see different like DLCs that would expand on the lore. Hell, I hope to see a DLC that makes it so you can actually create your own gang. I imagine they probably wouldn't do that because like V is a mercenary in that, but if they were to make a multiplayer version of the game or add like an online mode to it, I kind of hope they make it so you can make your own gang. Make it so you can like basically pick to have like turf wars with other players and their gang members and that, but who knows? Maybe they'll do that, maybe they won't. But the one thing I'm really hoping for is they actually do make a DLC that expands on the lore. Sorry about that. And I just hope they like make it good. I just hope it's, how do I put this? I just hope it like makes it so the story is even better in the main game. But yeah, goblins, that is pretty much it. I know, short video, but that's pretty much most of the ideas. As I only thought half of them out, I didn't think of like much of the stories of that. If you're just now tuning in, I suggest you just like look this video up on your phone, click on it, hit the refresh button after it ends, or hit like the button that takes you to a YouTube page and then the back button. But anyways, goblins, to my fellow goblins out there, may your pockets be full of gold, may your loot be plentiful, and may you always have a village or a kingdom nearby that you can loot and plunder to your heart's content. Without further ado, I'm Scully the Goblin, and this was my little talk video. I'll see you goblins in the next one. Peace out, and goodbye.